Very good morning, dear students. So last class we have seen the theoretical part of parallel AC circuits. Now let us start with the illustrative examples with numerical. So consider a problem 1. A current of 10 amperes flows in a circuit with 30-degree angle of lag when applied voltage is 100 volts. Find the resistance, reactance and impedance. Also find the conductance, susceptance and admittance. So first let us write down the given parameter. So current is given as 10 at an angle 30. But here they have given you angle of lag. So it is written as minus 30. Applied voltage V is equal to 100 at an angle 0 degree volts, because usually voltage is taken as a reference. So its angle is 0 degree. Then impedance Z can be found out by dividing V by I. So 100 at an angle 0 divided by 10 at an angle minus 30. So which is nothing but 10 at an angle plus 30. Now the same thing you convert into rectangular. So you get real part and the imaginary part. So the real part is nothing but the resistance what you get, and the complex part or the imaginary part is a reactance. Or else manually you can find out by using the formula Z cos phi and Z sin phi. So R is equal to Z cos, what is the angle? 30 degrees. So Z cos 30 and the reactance Z sin 30, you get the value. Now these two together form the impedance, right? So R plus JX. Now admittance can be found out by taking reciprocal of impedance. Admittance is nothing but reciprocal of impedance. So when I take 1 divided by 10 at an angle 30, I get 0.1 at an angle of minus 30 mho. Okay. So impedance is expressed in ohms and admittance in mho. That is reciprocal of ohms. So this again, when you convert into complex form, you get, that is when you convert into rectangular form, you get this value. Okay. 0.0866 minus j 0.05 mho. Okay, now this value, the real part is nothing but the conductance, and the imaginary part what you get is the susceptance. So this is how, for a simple problem, when impedance is given, when current and applied voltage are given, how to find the impedance, and from the impedance how to find resistance, reactance, and how to find the admittance by taking reciprocal of impedance, then conductance and susceptance. Okay, it's a very simple problem. Let us move on to the next problem. So in this problem, okay, see this figure will not be given actually. You need to draw it, okay. So you have to carefully observe the statement over here. A parallel circuit comprises a resistance of 20 ohm in series with an inductive reactance of 15 ohm in one branch. So one branch consists of what? 20 ohms and 15 ohm, okay. 20 ohm resistance and 15 ohm inductive reactance, that is XL. And a resistance of 30 ohm in series with a capacitive reactance of 20 ohm in another branch. So another branch consists of resistance of 30 ohms and capacitive reactance, that is XC value of 20 ohms. Now these two are connected in parallel, these two branches. Determine the current in each branch if the total current drawn by the parallel circuit is 10 at an angle minus 30. Now this is connected across a voltage source, and the total current flowing in this source is nothing, supplied by this source is 10 at an angle minus 30. Okay, we need to find out what is the branch current, that is the current in each branch. Okay, so let us first write down what is given. Now total current is given. Okay, so this polar form you convert into rectangular form. Okay, then so how to find the branch current? So it is by using branch current method. So when you have two resistance in parallel, okay, when you know the total current, how do you find? Okay, in the similar way, here also we need to find out. Now IL is the current flowing through inductive branch and IC is the current flowing through capacitor branch. Okay, so IL, how do you find out? It is nothing but the total current IT, okay, into the impedance of the other branch, that is capacitive branch, divided by sum of the impedances of inductive branch and the capacitive branch. Okay, so now how to find out the capacitor current? If we know the total current, you just need to subtract it, or else you need to use the same branch formula. So you can do in any ways which you feel comfortable. Okay, so before we could find this, first we need to find out what is the impedance in the inductance circuit and impedance in the capacitive circuit. So what is the impedance in the inductive circuit is RL plus J XL, okay, which is given 20 plus J15. And next, the impedance in the capacitive circuit is RC minus JXC, that is 30 minus J20. Okay, now having known these two values and also total current also is known, okay, we just substitute the values over here. Okay, using complex mode, you just multiply this value, okay, you get the answer for the current in this branch as 7.175 at an angle of minus 57.98, or in rectangular form it is written like this. This also you can convert in your calcs in a complex mode easily. Current in capacitive circuit can be determined by the total current minus inductive current. Okay, or you can use the branch current formula again. So this is how you find when two branches are given with a consisting of a given components, either inductance or a capacitance. Okay, let us move on to the next problem. So in this problem, there are two circuits, okay, A and B, which are connected in parallel across a 200 volts 50 hertz supply. Circuit A consists of 10 ohm resistance and 0.12 Henry inductance in series. And then circuit B consists of 20 ohm resistance and in series with the 40 microfarad capacitance. Calculate current in each branch, supply current, and draw the phasor diagram. Okay, it is a similar type of problem. Okay, the only difference is that here actually the components are given. Okay, we have inductance given, we need to find out what is XL. Again, capacitance is given, we need to find out what is XC, and the voltage is given instead of the total current. Okay, so from this we need to find out what is the current in each branch and the supply current. So given supply voltage, okay, frequency is given, and then circuit A inductance is given. So find out what is inductive reactance. Resistance is already given. So impedance of circuit A is nothing but RA plus J XL. Okay, so write down that. Then you find out, go for the next branch where capacitance of the circuit is given. Find out what is capacitive reactance. Okay, 1 by omega C. You get this value. Again, impedance of the circuit, you find out RB minus JXC. Okay, we know that when we have a capacitor circuit, we usually denote the capacitive reactance by minus JXC, whereas when we have inductance, it is plus JXL. Okay, that we are very much clear with that. Okay, next, so when we write this again you convert into polar form and write down using complex mode. So now find out what is the current in circuit A. It is nothing but the voltage V divided by impedance in branch A. Okay, you get the value of current. Again, this current, okay, if you observe here, you are getting the negative angle. So it means that the current IA lags behind the voltage V by 75.136 degrees. Okay, this angle. So IA lags V. Okay. Next, IB current in circuit B, you will find out by using V divided by ZB, which is equal to 2.436 at an angle 75.89. So here if you see it is a positive angle, it means that current IB leads the voltage V by an angle of 75.89 degrees. Now, what is the supply current? It is nothing but sum of the currents of IA and IB. Okay, so that is the total current. Now, along with these parameters, okay, we need to draw the phasor diagram also. Okay, just observe how to draw. So first we are going to take voltage as the reference. Okay, I told you always the voltage has the angle of 0 degrees. Okay, so draw first voltage. Okay, next go for the currents. Now draw current IA. Okay, so what is the value of IA? See here, it is minus some magnitude of the current. Okay, 5.13 at an angle of minus 75.136. When it is minus, it should be below the voltage vector. Okay, so this is IA, what you have drawn. Next, IB value is 2.436 at an angle of 75.89. Now observe that. So it is positive angle, so it should be above the V. Okay, and one more thing you observe. See the magnitude also. See, IA magnitude is greater than the magnitude of IB. See, it is 5.13 IA magnitude and IB magnitude is 2.436, almost half, right? So you should draw a vector, this lengthy vector here for IA, and for IB, a small vector. Okay, that also should be proportional. Though you are not drawing with the exact dimension, but at least it should be proportional to look. Now, the sum of the vectors of IA and IB gives what? The total current I, right? So what is the value here? 3.224 at an angle of minus 53.7. Now, so this should have a length which is slightly greater than IB. Okay, so draw this. So at what angle you will draw? It is again minus 53.136 down with the reference voltage V. Okay. Now you can join with the dotted lines with IA to I and I to IB. See, this is not visible. Okay. You have to draw with the dotted line over here. So this is the phasor diagram. So in the next lecture, let us continue with some more problems. Okay. Thank you.